Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody had a great day. I mean, Meta, oh my goodness. I hope everybody was involved in them options because they are just absolutely insane. If you picked them up when I was saying and we were saying it was going to get running there. Holy cow. Them options are wild. And FBL too, the ETF doing great. Have both of them and they are way up depending on when your expiration date is. They are like crazy. So that was a beautiful call, and that's what we're really going to be focused on, honestly, going forward. Definitely starting next week, we're going to really just pinpoint what's going to be rocking and rolling. I think that's the best way to do it. We'll go through a bunch of them too, pick out the penny stocks, and everything just popping. So we'll kind of just tighten it up a little bit and make it a little bit more exciting, I think, with poppers left and right. Not that we don't call them all out, but we'll just like really zero in on them. And again, some of the bigger caps. And I think I'm going to introduce my scanners because they just hit a lot of them as well that you just don't see on the regular scanners. Don't ask me why, but they're easy, easy runners. So we might as well take advantage of everything that's popping and easy ones that are moving like Meta and stuff. I'm telling you, you don't have to trade a bunch of them. You just have to pick the one that's really going to be running. And Apple, Meta, we hit SMCI. I mean, Snow before that. Every single one that was about to pop and really rip. We've hit Tesla on the ways up, all of them, MicroStrategy, and all the quantum ones. And I'm telling you, you get these options on these things, and they start moving like this. They are way better than penny stocks. I promise you. I did penny stocks for a long time, and I am totally convinced and hooked on options. I promise you, they're that good. So let's get rocking and rolling. We have a pretty action-packed list, and we'll knock them all out. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It's not intended as financial advice, so always do your due diligence. And let's check out Elab, see what it's doing after that reverse split. I was checking it out today. It was dipping down, and it didn't get down as far as yesterday, though, which was good. That 174, I think, is going to be its low. So that's what I was kind of looking for today. And I didn't expect it to get popping after it did pull back yesterday. So I think you're going to have that setup happen right here. And that was your low. So just watch for it. That 20 is coming down. It's at 240, and it's dipping down pretty fast on it. So Elab, I think, is going to be getting set up. And again, I think yesterday's 174, it's at 199 right now. I think that 174 might be right around where its bottom's going to be. So keep an eye out for any pullback or dips right there. That's just what it looks like at the moment. So we will keep an eye on that after that reverse split because you know that we love them. You know it's going to start moving. They all do. CLB, that Core Laboratories, was down 23 cents. It was running yesterday and still in a great spot right there. So just keep an eye on this bad boy. And it just had a little bit of pullback, to be honest with you. Nothing crazy. It went like 2097. It came down to 2037. So you're not talking about anything crazy. And it's at 2078. And again, it still looks really good to get set up and get popping. So keep an eye on that CLB, Core Laboratories. That still looks really good and set up. LXRX. This thing came down today, and I'm telling you, it has some crazy looks. This could have been that dip and rip situation. It was touching the line and pulled back. An interesting one for sure, and a crazy, crazy look. So something's up with this bad boy, and I could imagine that's going to be a dip and rip situation. Is exactly what it looks like to me. So keep your eye on this bad boy tomorrow. I wanted to point that out for you guys. So early in the morning, just take a quick look at that. LXRX, Lexicon Pharmaceuticals, and see if you're getting through that line and bouncing up. I could see it popping right out of the basement, popping through that line, and actually running pretty hard. So, and it doesn't have resistance until like 97 cents, but it could even move right through that. Um, Again, I'm not promising you, but early in the morning, I know some of you are up trading. Laptop Travel, I know is, and a few others, because this thing is getting set up there. but it's kind of down the road. So I could see it having a pop up before that and then pulling back and then resetting up. So keep your eye on that one. LXRX just has that strange look to me, and you know how they can get cruising like that. So HAO is down a little bit today. Nothing real crazy. Just looked like it was pulling back down into the basement, just a hair. But like I said, it was nothing crazy. It wasn't crossing down or anything that bad, and it was just kind of flattening out onto the line. It looks like it's trying to set up to get rolling off that MACD. And again, that 20 is way up there at 19 cents, and you're at 12 and a half. So I don't think it's waiting for that. I think it's just waiting for that perfect timing right here. So we're just going to keep an eye on it tomorrow, see what it wants to do as it's on that MACD. You may start to see it curl up. I'll be watching it for sure, and I'll let you know if it has that look. And if I see it, I'll definitely post it out. I've been checking it out, and it just hasn't had that look just yet. PGHL. Another one just kind of pulling back here. It did cross down yesterday, and just watch it pull back. Today it had a big old pullback right there. Could be its bottom at 152. It came back up to 178. So I'm going to keep an eye on this one as I have been during the daytime. And yeah, they just haven't been giving it that look yet. But PGHL could be getting there. And again, that bottom could be today right there at that 152. So just keep an eye on that bad boy because again, that one ran up like crazy the other day, and we can try to catch another run. That was the one that ran from like $11 to 210. So we can see if this one wants to get primed up and get moving again. And that is PGHL. So I'm going to keep my eye on that one as well. And that BLDE, like I said, is going to pull back. It was up at the top and it was going to pull. It looked like it wanted to run up a little higher, but it topped out right there. We were looking at it at that 517. It's just pulling back. See if it gets stuck right there at that $4 area and gets set back up. And like I said, the thing's bullish. If not, it's coming down into the 370s. Nothing too crazy right there for this Blade Air Mobility. And yeah, it just ran up there really well. And again, setting back up to be bullish. So like I was saying, the company looks decent right there. And we even heard from the CEO. And again, it looks pretty good. We'll keep an eye on it just because it's a decent little company. And like I said, it looks pretty positive. And going forward next year, you can see it's going to get set up and keep running up if it keeps that chart pattern going. So XTIA, this one was just kind of bouncing around. I was surprised it wasn't moving more than it was yesterday, to be honest. It ran up yesterday a little more, and today it just kind of flattened out. I was waiting for it to start moving because it wants to. It just didn't do it today. So it just has to get up over that. I mean, it's at 5 cents. It just has to get up a little bit. Maybe tomorrow is going to be its day. So keep an eye on this XTIA because it is right there and it wants to get moving. And this one has some room too. It can easily get up to that 10 cents and you're under 5. So that's a nice little run right there for XTIA if it can get up that high. And again, just keep your eye on it because it's setting up and it looks really solid right there. So keep an eye on that tomorrow. TRNR, this did pull back like 3 cents. It was up early this morning and just kind of flattened out. And I'm telling you, I think that bottom was back here on the 26, back at 265. We're at 286 in the after hours, it looks like. Let me see. TRNR 339 came down to 271. It's at 288 right now. And again, it just kind of pulled back there, a little lower than yesterday. And we're just going to see if it wants to make that curl. And if not, we'll let it go. But again, I was just checking it out to see. Has a lot of room and had that gray earnings just recently split. And the 20s right, no, it's not right there. If you blow it up, it's like all the way at 450 and we're at 296. But it can easily gap up there. So it already has once. It gapped up pretty good. And this one could do it again. So we'll just watch it. I'll let you know if it gives me that look where it wants to start curling up because, like I said, it could be a runner if it does get that curl up look. We'll keep an eye on it. LODE was up again today, 5 cents. That's at Comstock, and we were looking at it the other day right before it bounced up yesterday and said it was looking good, and it's continuing its way up there. It ran 43 to 49. It's at 47 and still looks pretty good. So There you go at LODE and should keep the momentum tomorrow. So we will keep an eye on that one and just keep an eye if it wants to get moving some more up there, especially in the morning there with LODE. So that's Comstock and one that we just kind of nailed. We just looked at it just the other day. It was at like 36 cent area and you're at about 48 right now. So 47, 48, and that is LODE. So DRUG's been a monster. It was up today at some point, and it just kind of pulling back. It's hitting that line right now. Not looking bad at all. I remember I saw it was up earlier. Let's see what it was doing. 45.02 to 47.96 and came down to 43, and right now it's at 46. So not bad. And like I said, it's about to cross through. I do wish they had options on this, but they don't. And I know I keep saying it, but I'm telling you, this thing's getting set up to bounce off that 55. It's just going to get up there, and then it's really going to probably start cruising. At least that's what it looks like at the moment. So we'll see how it runs up, but that's what it looks like it wants to do. It could change, but right now that's the direction it's looking. And DRUG is not looking bad. It's looking like a bright mind right there. So KWE, let's look at that. Key West or K West Microsystems. This is at Aerospace and Defense for Canada. It was running up yesterday, just a little pull, well, a little more than a little. It came down 10 cents. I didn't even notice that today. But let's see. Oh yeah, it did dip down pretty good, huh? It opened at 86 and came down to 69 and it's at 70. It did run up the last few days, and honestly, it still doesn't even look that bad. So let's see how that sets back up tomorrow and see if it just wants to kind of get rolling back up once again. It was just some healthy pullback. We'll take a look at that tomorrow. And I'll let you know if that's trying to get curled back up there for KWE. And let's look at that ITRM. That did pull back, but it did run up and then pull back today. It got up to like 250 something. Let me look because I know it was up to 260s. Yeah, 263. It opened at 231 and it's at 231 right now. So it opened and closed at the same price. You know how I love it. And it did get up to 263. It is kind of just like it has that topped out look. I could see it pulling back down here into like the 190s. But again, this thing is setting up. It was just in the top, unless it's going to stay in the top and really bounce, and then it's going to take off. And I can't guarantee that tomorrow, but keep an eye on it for the morning if it tries to do it. If not, it's going to come out of the basement. And like I said, it should come down to that 190 area and get reset up and get moving again and then get higher than that 260 area that it was at today. So that is ITRM. And we were looking at that, and that one just ran for us. SKK. This one up a penny today, and it had like a crazy day. I know that it didn't get down as low as it did the other day at 116. It got to like 118, so it was close to it. I was looking at this bad boy. It's at 132 right now. Somehow it ended up closing up. And yeah, it opened at 121, got up to 136. Its low is like 118. And like I said, it looks like it's trying to get set up. It is finally trying to curl up now. It's just way down there. It has a few days before it really gets curled up. The one great thing is it has that hard support down there at like 80 cent area. And that look is a great look. They like to bounce like that. They used to bounce hard. We haven't seen one like this in a while, to be honest with you. So keep an eye on this SKK. And we know they usually close lower than the day before as they're curling up and setting up. And this still has a few days left as it curls up. Could take the rest of this week just to get set up there. So that's what it looks like for SKK. And we'll keep an eye on that one as well. I'll look at that tomorrow just to see where it's sitting. CETX is up 8 cents after that split. And we were talking about this one. And I'm telling you, this one looks like it wants to get rocking and rolling after this split. So just keep an eye on this tomorrow. It is looking much better right there, and I could see it trying to curl up. So keep your eye on CETX. Like I said, it ran up today, what, 318 to 360, and it's at 320 right now. So well, it's just above where it opened, but it did run up, and it's nothing too crazy, but it could definitely get curled up tomorrow and get cruising again. So we'll keep an eye on CETX as well. It's right there. It's trying to set up. This one's looking good. IQ, we were looking at it, and it is up 8 cents. At least it was up 8 cents at least today, and it's at 227 IQ. And I know we were looking at it. It ran from 218 to 233. It's at 227 and still looking good. It was setting up really good. So keep an eye on this bad boy. I don't know how to say it. It's some crazy China company, entertainment company. And but yeah, it looks really good to continue its way up. So just keep an eye on IQ because that does look good. We were looking at that bad boy yesterday and it was looking good. And PLUG, let's look at plug. Was it like plug power? Yeah, plug power. This one's setting up too, and it ran up yesterday. And again, they're just kind of running up for a little bit and pulling back. Like they want to keep running for whatever reason. They're pulling back and setting up to it's like real solid setup. So it's perfectly fine because this one could come back down to the 193 and really get set up and get moving. So keep your eye on plug as well as it pulls back again. Ran up yesterday up to 244. Today it opened at 232 and got down to $2. It's at 206. So just let it get set up again. It did run up. It looked like it was trying to keep itself up yesterday, but just had other plans today. Pulled back and now it's going to really get set up there. So keep an eye on that bad boy because that one will actually get set up. Once it gets set up here, it's going to get back up to this 226 and like really blast off. And it shouldn't take that long for it to do it. Should just trade in between this channel right here. So it should be pretty good. And that is PLUG and MLGO. That's that micro algo. It was running up yesterday. This is one of them China stocks. It ran up yesterday. Had over 73 million in volume yesterday. Only had 18 million in volume today. Today it opened at 20, got up to 21, and it's back down to 18. I mean, it hit that 50 yesterday. It looks strong. They're just not keeping like a lot of momentum going into the next day for whatever reason. A lot of them are just pulling back here. So we'll see if it just wants to be in that channel right there between that 19 and that 24. And it is just under 19 right now. So we'll keep an eye on that MLGO and see how much it wants to set up. I think it's just going to be in that channel and get set up. And then China ones were looking pretty good. Everything just kind of looked like flat or whatever today, except for like Meta and Apple were looking great and a few others that were popping. So, and obviously we knew which ones they were. RUN, Sunrun was down 41 cents. And that one is kind of just dipping back down after it ran up, and it's only hitting that 20. I think it's just a little healthy pullback right there. RUN. And let's see. Yeah, I don't think it's going to dip that hard. We'll keep an eye and see what it does tomorrow. It'll probably tell us exactly what it wants to do. So keep an eye on Sunrun. It did run up the last few days when we wanted it to, and just kind of pulling back here. So I'll keep an eye on that bad boy and see what it wants to do. SNSE, that's at Sensi Biotherapeutics, and it's down 3 cents. And another one just kind of dipping down hard to that line. I can see it trying to bounce off that line when it comes down here. So another one we're just going to keep an eye on. Again, they were just pulling back today. A lot of them that were set up really nice to keep going up just had some real good pullback. So we'll see how this one reacts when it hits the line tomorrow. And I'll definitely keep an eye on that one. SNSE. Let's see what Walgreens did. WBA, Walgreens Buda Lines, down 3 cents. And like I said, it is trying to set up the run right here. And it is going to have a pop. I think it's going to trade between this 876. I think it might dip down a little bit and down into this like 805 lower 8 area. It's going to stay in the eights is what it looks like, and then set up and bounce up one time and then really come back down. That's what it looks like right here. So and it's done it before actually. It did it in the middle of October and it's about to kind of do it again. And each time it does it, it'll pop up lower than the last time, and it's stair stepping its way down. Like I said, the company's just not looking healthy, and that's WBA Walgreens. So we keep watching that just because it's interesting. And the yin and the yang, the yin was up that 36 cents. I meant to post about it today and I forgot to, but it did cross over, going up and looks better. We were looking at it last night. It looked like it wanted to. It was just both of them were looking a little odd and I couldn't really tell, but it did cross through, like I said, and went up. And that's the China bull. And obviously the yang was down like 95 cents and pulling back right there to the 20 now. Again, it's not looking terrible. It's coming down to that line. We've seen them run like this several times where, they look like they're trying to change direction, and then all of a sudden one day they move, up or down, and the next day they continue back the way they were. So, could that yin it already crossed through, but could it come back through? It could, I mean, but it looks like it does want to continue its way up into the 29s. So, but I don't know how much more it wants to keep its way up there. So we'll keep an eye on that yin and the yang and see what they're going to do. But the yin did run up today like we thought. It was looking pretty bullish. And again, I don't know how hard it wants to run. It just, they don't dip them down too much or run them up too much right now because they're not really trying to startle the economy over in China at the moment. So they're just kind of running them around each way. And you can get that look, but again, you can't really tell exactly what they want to do really long term. We knew for a couple weeks what they were doing, and right now they're just kind of questionable. But we can tell, like I said, they look like they want to go up a little bit more, but then they could easily pull back. So we'll keep an eye on them. We've been watching them, and they are definitely interesting to watch, that yin and the yang, and it's interesting to just watch the China economy through that. So there you go. And then let's look at Boyle and cold because Boyle is getting cold. It was getting hot there. It hit that resistance up there, what, back in I don't even know what day, November 21st, and it's been pulling back ever since, and it is dipping down right there. Boil, good old Boyle. So yeah, that one's definitely getting colder, and it just crossed through going down. So that means cold is getting hot, and it's definitely getting opposites. And this one, cold, is getting hot. I'll tell you that. This one's about to pop up there. This is an ETF, and you can check this one out. It's a two times the natural gas, and the 20 and 50 are about to pop it right up there into the 80s, and it looks like it's at 69. I might have to take a look at cold tomorrow and see what that's doing in the morning. That could be a good option one right there, so keep an eye on that bad boy. KOLD, it's looking pretty solid. And NUGT, that nug, we were looking at this as well, the gold miners bull. And last night it looked like they wanted to dip. And I noticed that today it was going back up, so it does want to go up. So the gold miners are bullish. And like I said last night, they just gave us that weird look, and I said, let's check these out tomorrow. And I did look at them; they were a little bit reversed here, so it was good. And like I said, the nug looks like it wants to run up, and another ETF right there. And the opposite of that is Dust, DUST, and that did come down $3. I'm telling you though, it's set up. It's so weird the way it's set up, but I guess if it keeps dipping down and that line comes through, it's going to keep it down bearish. So I can see that happening on this. So keep your eye on that NUGT and DUST because, like I said, NUGT looks like it's bullish, and the DUST looks like it wants to go back down. So that's what they want to do right now. And so yeah, the gold is bullish, and according to this, and like I said last night, they just gave us that look, and now it's you can kind of tell what they're up to. So there you go with that. This one was an interesting one. I meant to go over it this morning because I wrote it down. It might not have been doing anything this morning. I'm not sure, but that thumbs up media thing was running around today. TZUP, and like I said, had the weirdest look and looked like a shell company coming in like it had just started. It was odd, but it did go 545 to 667, and its low is 470, and it's at 560. So it ran all over the place today. We definitely looked at it last night, and still an odd look, but it does look like it wants to go up now. So you keep your eye on that TZUP. It does look like it has a little momentum right there, so keep your eye on that, and that is TZUP. And let's look at that SYRS real quick. It was down just a hair. And again, we said we were going to keep an eye on this. This one's like just a couple days out from crossing through, and it's like right there. So keep your eye on it. It looked like it opened and closed right around the same price today, SYRS. But yeah, it's right there to try to cross through, and it's way down there. This is that company that was doing the insider buying before, and then it ran up into the 350 area and then dipped down. I was messing around with options back then with this thing. So whenever that was, I forget when was it? November 12th. So yeah, it was in the beginning of this month. I remember because or last month. Now we're in December, but I remember it was when I started messing around, like kind of getting back, like really into it. I remember having a few of these and messing with the different prices, and then it ran up into that 350, and it was a nice one. So yeah, the even the small ones were done pretty well. But again, the big caps like Meta and stuff, it just outperformed everything, especially when you get into the ETFs and stuff. They've been pretty wild too, so you can't go wrong. And honestly, the ETFs are priced so much cheaper than the than like Meta, for example. FBL is way cheaper, and we'll go through them later. But just got off on an option thing because, like I said, I had a couple of these for SYRS, and it might be good to look at them now because, like I said, it looks like it's trying to cross up there. It's down at like 24 cents. I'm sure they still have them down there, so it is way down there. And keep an eye on it because it could be curling up and it could move. So it looks like it wants to set up. And how about that cheetah running like crazy today? That thing went nuts this morning and just kind of ran all day. So keep an eye on this thing because it went from 223 to 930. So that cheetah went nutty. And we've looked at this plenty of times. It just kind of popped up there. I don't know what even happened. Oh yeah, they signed a definitive agreement to acquire TW and EW. I don't even know what that is. I meant to look at it, and I have no idea what the companies even are. And I'm just looking right now, and I still don't even see. The total acquisition includes a cash payment of 200,000 and a share consideration involving the issuance of Cheetah's unregistered. Blah blah blah. Yeah, I have no idea what they even do, but I don't know what TW and EW are, but anyway, it made Cheetah pop up. But yeah, that was just a quick run up there, and it ran over 100% real quick. So CTNT, that one did pop up, but not sure how much it's going to run up more tomorrow. You'd have to keep an eye on that bad boy in the morning after that kind of run up. I mean, it did get into the top, but it doesn't look as healthy as it could to continue its way up. So just keep your eye on that. CTNT and LMFA, that was down a penny, and this one is trying to set up. And I'm not even sure if it was down a penny. Let me see what mine says here. 290 it opened and it closed at 299. I was gonna say I didn't think it was down a penny anyway. There you go. Your FinViz being off a little bit because it definitely says 299. Well, what did it say here? 290 to 299, but it does say down a penny. I don't know why it says minus a penny when I look at it. It definitely wasn't, and the numbers are right, so whatever. Anyway, LMFA looks really good to try to curl up and get moving, guys. And it just has to get over like that 315 area and it can get blasting off. So keep an eye on that bad boy because it is setting up right there and looking pretty good. And how about that GNS? That one was up 2 cents today. And again, we were looking at it. It was trying to make that hard curl up is what it was doing. It ran up. Let me see what it ran up to. 90 cents. It opened at 88, did come back to 77 and closed at 83. So you're at 83 right now. It did try to get crossed up. And again, I don't tend not to like the ones that are like heavily pumped at all. And even though the setup was good, you just never know. Even though everything's an essential pump and dump because people are buying and selling. And but yeah, when you get into these heavy ones where these groups get into them, you just never know. Somebody can buy up a ton of shares, especially dirt cheap, and then once they let go of them, it's over. The party's done, and you can get caught in them. And that's why I tend to stay away from a lot of that stuff and just stick right to the charts. And if things look good to me, they look good. Like I said, some charts will set up, and a lot of people get into them, and then they get pumped up, and they go crazy. Some of them just have like certain groups pumped into them, and they'll shoot up because you have that volume. What I have over 7 million in volume today. I'll look at it tomorrow. It doesn't look bad. It's still trying to get set up here. It's curled up here on the RSI and just trying to get curled up on the MACD. So it has some resistance right here at 98. So has to try to get through that to really get moving on GNS. So I'll keep an eye on that in the morning, see if it actually wants to move. And that OM, we were looking at that last night, and that one got popping up. It was up over 30%, 27 cents there, and then even more in the after hours. So we were just looking at this. Outset Medical, it went from 88 cents to 137, and it's at 127 right now and not looking bad. So that is OM, and it has a lot of room too. It could run way up there, and it looks like it wants to continue that momentum. So watch that one in the morning for a momentum play right there. And that SkyX looked good last night, and today it was down just a little bit, but it still looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It curled through and just kind of went flat. I'm not exactly sure why it did that, but it definitely curled through and went flat. And I was like, huh, that's weird. Weird look, but it went 123 to 108 was its low, and it's closed at 118. So just keep an eye on this bad boy if you like that SkyX, because like I said, it did cross through and went flat. The 20 and 50 are meeting, and it looks pretty decent right there. Looks like it's trying to set up to me, and it looked like it yesterday too. So I'll take a look at that again tomorrow. And let's look at the lion right here and see if that wants to run like the cheetah. LGHL was down a penny, and it's just kind of pulling back here. So let it pull back, and we'll see if it wants to get set up. And it did close and open at 18 cents. It ran up to 19 and came down to 17. So just has that look where it's, pulled back, but anything can happen with this. And it could be its a little bottom, a little dip and rip. So we'll keep an eye on the lion too to see if it wants to run like the cheetah. Maybe they can acquire EV and whatever else the other company was and make the lion run like crazy, because I have no idea how Cheetah ran like that on that acquisition, but it looked really good and just popped up there for Cheetah this morning. And let's look at this one. This one is a crazy one. That MDJH, we've been looking at it, and all of a sudden they decided to change their name or something, and it's now UOKA. So MDJM Ltd. I didn't even know they were changing their name. Not that I really look at much news, but it definitely says on December 2nd, yesterday, if I probably would have came down because it was yesterday morning that they announced the ticker symbol change to UOKA for today, and it's at 16 cents. I'm not sure. I don't think they were letting people trade it. A lot of times when they change tickers, it gets all messed up. It's not always fun to be involved in them. And today it did run up. It went, what, 22 cents to a dollar. And now it's at 16 cents. And you'll see that very often. I don't know who's getting out of it at a dollar or even up there, because a lot of the platforms won't let you trade them if they change the tickers, like something like this. So I have no idea. They get like completely manipulated, and it's completely crazy. So I didn't even see that it was changing its name. Not that we always look at the news, but it did run up. I'd have to look at it tomorrow after it did all that today and see what it looks like. So that is the old MDJH, which is now the new UOKA. And let's look at DRMA because that is some drama over there for that one, that MDJH. But anyway, let's look at DRMA, Dermatia Therapeutics, and this one was looking pretty decent too. It just had some pullback, but it's sitting right there in the right spot. I could see that one just being a little healthy pullback and getting set back up. It's right in between that channel right there, which is 135 and 120, 121, and it's just below. It's at 118, but it's right there. And yeah, it's not looking bad. It looks like a little healthy pullback. We'll keep an eye and see if it really wants to pull back or if it's going to stay in that channel, which I think it might. And that GNPX. This one still looks good. It was down just a hair a little bit, but just a hair down a penny. But it did run around today. Let me see what its pricing was. GNPX. It was 108. It ran up to 110, came down to a dollar, and it's at a dollar for your 20's coming down to your 50, and it's curling up right here. It doesn't look bad at all to me. So we'll keep an eye on it. Recently had earnings, and it is curling up. I think it has a few days to set up here and bounce around. Has a lot of weird looks going on. So it's not looking bad. I think GNPX is going to get set up. And how about this GWAV? We've watched this before. Green Wave Technology Solutions. It's like waste management, and this thing ran like crazy today. I don't think we've looked at it very recently, but we are definitely looking at it. Maybe we did, I don't even know. But today it ran from like 37 to 88, and it's at 75 cents now. So it definitely got moving, and it doesn't even look bad. It got up into the top, and I'm not so sure it's going to just go crashing down. Look at it in the morning. It had over 510 million in volume today, so it had a lot of volume, and it got moving. And again, doesn't even look terrible. I could see it running into that top in the morning at least. So keep an eye on that bad boy in the morning and see if it wants to have a little momentum there. And yeah, GNPX was setting up there. And OPTT, let's see what that did because that ran already yesterday. It pulled back like 33 cents. That top was definitely yesterday. It was way up there. And again, once these get to the top, you know my philosophy. You're lucky if they run up a little bit more, and like a PLTR, and them ones are very rare. And something like this, OPTT, you can just look at it. It got into the top for about 2 days there, and yeah, you're risking it after that. And it did jump up on the third day. Don't get me wrong, yesterday, but. It's going to come back out of that top and come back down. And that's exactly what this is doing. Now, whether it's going to stick itself right here around 26 or even like 28 cent area, it's at 35 right now. It could dip down a little more and then get set back up. So I'll keep an eye on that. But again, when they're at that top, you need to get out and move to the next one that's at the bottom going up. So EDBL, the old edible garden, this one's actually looking really good, trying to curl up. I think you're going to have a little bit of a runner right here tomorrow. I know we were looking at it last night and it was setting up. And I think you have one that's definitely setting up right there. So keep your eye on EDBL. It is looking good. And BNZI, let's see it. It's just kind of pulling back right there. Let me see what it looks like over here. BNZI. Let's look. BNZI. And it is down a little bit today, just kind of pulling back. It does. It looks like it's just pulling back a little bit. I'll have to keep an eye on that one to see what it wants to do. I added a few other ones here. CYTO. Let me take a look at this bad boy, and we're just going to cruise right through because we got a bunch of them. So I'm just going to rock and roll through as many as we can here. CYTO. This one's actually looking really good, curled up here and running today. Let me see this bad boy, 44 to 61. That could be a little momentum play in the morning. Keep an eye on that one, CYTO. It could be. Um, and the letter U, I forget what that is. Unity Software, that's what it is. I knew it wasn't United now. And this is in between that channel up there at like 24 and 23. It's at 24 or 52 and not looking bad right there for you. So I think that one is going to continue its way up and try to get into the top. At least it looks like it wants to. So keep an eye on that for a little momentum play. And let's take a look at that SLS right here and see what that's up to. Celis Life Sciences Group. And this one is just kind of setting up. I don't think it's just ready yet, but that bottom is probably yesterday at 110. You're at 120 right now. Let me take a look. Does look like it's trying to pull back, but again, I think your bottom was yesterday. What did it get down to today? 115. That 110 yesterday might be your bottom. So just keep an eye on that one, SLS, and watch for any pullback. But that's what it looks like as it's trying to set up. CADL. Let's see that one. Candle Therapeutics or something. This one's setting up. It was trying to get moving, actually. It has some good resistance there at $5. I can tell you that. And maybe just watch it pull back a little more. It's just going to ride that down a little bit. CADL. That's what it looks like. And then set up. So, yeah, just let this bad boy set up. I think that needs a little setup time. TTNP. Let's see that. That's up 32 cents. And this one started rolling up today and not looking bad, gets up over where it was today, right in that 397, and it closed right there, 396. But it looks like it pulled back a little bit. Let me just look. 385. I mean, it doesn't look bad. It looks like it wants to keep going up tomorrow. I'd watch this one for tomorrow. TTNP. That looks like it should have some momentum there. BNOX. Let's look at that one. Down a penny and just kind of pulling back right there. Let me see. It looked like a solid. It's making a base right there and just trying to roll off. Didn't get that roll off going, BNOX. But I'll tell you what, the 20 and 50 are trying to meet up. It's going to have to jump up like right around that 32, 31 cent area, and it can get set up. It's at 28, so it's right there. And I think you're going to see it bump up into that area and then pop up. So I think BNOX is getting set up there. SLN, Silence Therapeutics. What do they do? Make sleeping medicine right here? Put you out. They're partying with Diddy or something. That Diddy didn't want you to be. He just wanted you to be silenced. He didn't want you to be sleeping though. He didn't. That was definitely a no-no. But anyway, Silence Therapeutics (SLN). This was down at its bottom the other day on November 20th at 581, and it's curling up pretty good right here. It's been moving up. It just pulled back today, 50 cents. But honestly, not looking bad right there. Just keep an eye tomorrow for a little more pullback as it ran up like 4 days. 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 or 5 days in a row. And just get a little pullback as it's getting up. And again, it's about 3 days out from crossing up. So yesterday probably was right there. And now you're getting that pullback happen. Your 20's way up here. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. It's all the way up at $11. But yeah, it doesn't look bad. We'll see if it has some little healthy pullback and wants to get set back up and run. And that is SLN. And let's see what FAMI's up to, FAMI. Oh, this one's setting up. This is one of them China small cap jobbers. And definitely getting set up right here, guys. So keep your eye on FAMI. This one does want to run. What did it do today? It got up 31 to 32. Its low is 29. It's at 30. And it did run. I remember October 22nd. It ran up to 83 cents. We'll see if it can get moving again. It might not get that high, but it's going to try to get running again. So we will keep an eye on that bad boy because that one's setting up for sure. FAMI and IVP. Inspire Veterinarian. I know we looked at this yesterday. It was trying to set up. I think this is just waiting for that 20. It's at 23. This is at 21. Just a little pullback. It's just not ready yet. That's all. IVP, it tried to. 23 to 24 came back down. And yeah, it's just not ready yet. So just let that set up right there and then let that'll get moving. Our buddy Holo, someone wanted to look at Holo. Let's look at Holo. Down 8 cents. It's at $1.84, and it's a nice dip. We knew it was kind of dipping. That's why I just left it go. And that could be a little bottom look right there. Now that you look at it on a nice dip today, so I'll have to look at Holo tomorrow, and maybe we'll try to catch a quick pop or a quick bounce, and then let it do whatever it wants. But yeah, that's HOLO and our buddy Holo. QLGN. Let's see this one down 16 cents. This was moving the yesterday. Didn't do too bad today either. Let me look at it. QLGN 459 to 475, and it closed at 462. It got down to 438, and it's still not looking too bad right there. QLGN. So that could just be a little healthy pullback on that bad boy and get set back up real quick and pop back up. So we'll keep an eye on QLGN. TWG, that Top Wealth Group Holdings. This one's just sitting there running flat. I mean, just as it's running flat, it's just pulling back, and your 20s at 32, and this is at like 27 cents. It's actually pulling away from it. It was really close the other day on the 27th, right around Thanksgiving, and now it pulled away from it. But again, it's just running flat here. TWG, I don't know what it's waiting for. Um, it's like right there. I'm telling you, it needs to get to like 32 cents. It's at 27. It's not that far off, and I am not sure what it's waiting for, but it looks like it's waiting for something. So just keep your eye on that for a little curl up, and it should get moving right there. LGVN, this one we hadn't looked at in a little while, and that 20 and 50 are going to meet up. It just crossed through a little pullback today. LGVN, let's see what it did here. 201 to 212, down to $2, and that's where it closed. And again, it doesn't even look bad. It crossed through, just went flat, and it's in between that channel, the 20 and 50, and they could meet up and get it popping. So keep an eye on that bad boy. I'll keep a mark right there. And NXU, let's see what you are up to. We haven't looked at that in a while, down a penny. And that one's setting up pretty good right there. That 20 and 50 with the 20s coming down. So not so sure. Let me see. Yeah, it's just pulling back right there. I'm not so sure it's ready yet. It's trying to set up, but I'm not so sure it's ready for NXU. And let's see what Buru's doing. BURU. Let's take a look down a penny, pulling back right there. And BURU. Yeah, that one's just pulling back there and not doing a whole lot, so we'll keep an eye on that. SGD, let's see what you're doing. That's safe and green development. And this one actually looks really good right there, so keep an eye on this. This one you might have a little popper on SGD. Yeah, that one's looking pretty decent right there. It wants to try to get back moving like it did the other day. It got up to that 374. You're at 220 again, and it looks pretty decent to try to get there. So keep an eye on that. Could be setting up the run. ENCS, let's see what that's doing. ENCS. Is that what it is? I think I even did it wrong. What is it? ENSC? ENSC. I wrote it backwards. There you go. ENSC. S and a C. There you go. All right. ENSC. Let's see what it's doing. It is setting up bullish. It's just not ready yet. And it's just kind of has that hard support line right there at that 49. So just watch this because that one's going to get moving. ENSC, it's just between its channel and getting set up, and that bottom should be right there at that, what, 48 cents. It's at 50. Yeah, just watch if it wants to pull back at all, but ENSC isn't looking too bad right there. ENSC, yeah. JFBR, that's Jeff's brands. We haven't looked at him in a while. I remember he ran up. He actually just split and was trying to run around today. It did run. This thing runs around a whole lot all the time, huh? Uh, just looking at it, 259 to 444 today, down to 235. It's closed at 252, and like almost every day it's moving. Yesterday, 266 to 333. The day before, 252 to 303. Day before that, 292 to 510. I mean, this thing just runs a lot, guys. So just keep your eye on it, and it's setting up. So I mean, a ton of room or a ton of movement. I mean, just keep your eye on that thing. You can play that thing almost like every single day. JFBR. It just has a lot of movement and just goes all over the place. So check that out, JFBR. We've looked at it plenty of times, Jeff's brands, and it is setting up BNF, BENF. That's a benef. I don't even know what to say. Beneficent, yeah, beneficent, down 3 cents, coming down to that bottom right there, and you could definitely see a pop off of that. I mean, just has that look like it wants to get bouncing tomorrow, possibly. So I would take a look at that bad boy for tomorrow. BENF. It could definitely bounce off that bottom. It's hitting it. Doesn't really look like it wants to get into that basement either. It looks like it would like to bounce off. So keep your eye on that bad boy. That's for sure. And that's BENF. And let's see what else is happening here on PGHL. We already looked at that one, so I'll go through that already. Well, I know we did that, but let's look at Octo, OCTO, OCTO. Down 7 cents. And this one's been setting up. It looked perfect yesterday and just some pullback. Could be a little healthy pullback again. It did it the other day on what, the 29th, and then it ran up yesterday. So Friday it pulled back. Yesterday it ran up. Today it pulled back, and it could just run right back up. It's not looking bad at all, that OCTO. So keep an eye on that one. SMH is that VanEck Semiconductor ETF. And let's keep an eye on this one, SMH, and let's see what it wants to do because it's just flat as it's hitting the line. And I think you're going to have a good one right here, SMH, to be set up and get moving. 248 to 250 today. It's at 249. That bottom was way down here at 234. So I think you're going to see this bad boy running. See if you can catch any dips into the lower 240s right there on SMH, but that one's looking really good and setting up and could be a nice option play for you. Let's look at TOI. Oh, TOI. Here we go. Oncology Institute. This one's about to get moving. I know we were looking at it yesterday. It ran up some today. Let's see what it did. TOI. 17 to 21. It's at 20 and it busts through that 21 right there. It's going to get moving and it should. I know a couple people played it from the show because I got a few messages on it. And that's when I realized it was even up today because I did never add it to the watch list. And yeah, so a few people did like this bad boy and it looks like it's going to continue that momentum up. So keep an eye on TOI. Not looking bad still, and it is running up. TANH, that Tan Tech Holdings is a China company, and this one's looking much better. So we had looked at this before. It was bouncing up today, but I would keep an eye on it to see if it wants to continue that momentum. It looks like it wants to. It went 15 to 17. It's at 16. Has to break through that 17, and it'll get rocking and rolling. So keep your eye on TANH because that one is setting up as well, and it looks good. We already looked at GNS, so we'll skip that there. And what's that say? ATAI. Let's look at that. ATAI Life Sciences. Oh, this one's setting up. It's just pulling back right here, but see where it wants to pull back to? And it could be right here, honestly. It could bounce right there off of that 158. Could come down a little further too. So just watch this tomorrow and see what it wants to do because it is setting up right there. And it could get rocking and rolling relatively soon if it gets set up. So like I said, we'll have to keep an eye to see if that gets set up. LUXH recently split. I remember that and it kind of ran up the day it split, and it's been coming down ever since, but it is setting up really good. I would say that this is a decent one to keep an eye on as it's curling up right there. So we'll see if that wants to be the bottom area today at a dollar. It's at $1.03 right now, and that dollar could be its low. We'll see if it wants to dip down anymore tomorrow. And that's why it's great when you're just patient on these. You play them fast and then you get patient if you like them because they literally split what it split on here November 20th, and that's the day it went from 212 to 230, and we're looking at it at $1.03. So and its low is probably a dollar or it might go a little lower. So that's a big pullback right there. And that's why we know we can play the splits. They pop, and then they're going to be pulling back. So you got to play them fast, get out. And again, that's kind of why the bigger caps and the Mag 7s are just a lot easier. I mean, look at what Meta did. I think it ran up like almost, what, I forget, $8 yesterday, 18 today, whatever it was. but just insane amount. And when you're doing options on them, Luis Rodriguez will tell you, and Laptop Travel, he actually posted the options chains. I think I reposted it out. Yeah, the percentages are insane. I mean, I'm not hitting any of them lower than 150%. I'm talking in like 2 days. That meta was up over 180%, and yeah, it was insane. The one option that I had, I'll just tell you, the one that I have was up over $1,900 today. That was just one of them, and I think that only cost like $500. So you're talking like some crap, and that was just one regular meta option. The ETF was way up, and that was an expiration out like 2 weeks from now, I think. I bought them up like basically all like the ones expiring this week are like absolutely insane, and then yeah, like the next week are even high, and then like I said, 3 weeks out, you can just imagine that one was up over 1900. It was up over $1,900 at the end of the day today when the market was closing. And yeah, and since Friday, I think it's up over like 2,500 since Friday. And I bought it right at the end of the day. So you're talking an insane return. And like I said, that's over 150%. I don't remember what it is. But like I'm telling you, I was used to hitting these penny stocks for 100%. You really had to try. I'm not even trying. Like this is a piece of cake, and you're hitting percentages and higher profits and everything than these penny stocks. So just listen to what I'm saying. I've done this for a long time, and I'm sold. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm definitely hooked on options, and it's incredible. I'm just listening to the numbers I just told you guys, and I'm telling you that meta option I bought for the 3 week out one was about $500 if it was a couple dollars more than that, but it wasn't much more than that. And yeah, you're talking a return. It's over $2,500 in profit in 2 days. So, and that's just one. Like I said, you load up, you buy two of them, you're at your 5 grand right there in 2 days. So, not bad profits right there. I'll tell you that. And way easier than trying to chase these small caps and stuff. And that's why I said I think next week we'll really focus on these because honestly, it's a piece of cake. And there's a ton of them. We can run through all these, and you really don't have. I mean, for what you're putting into to make money on like an LUXH, buying it at $1. Okay, you buy 500 shares. That costs you $500. And what's it going to go up? If it goes up $1, then you make your $500. You know what I mean? But this thing has to go up $1. You're talking like Meta. It just easily goes up $18 without even trying, and it should go up some more tomorrow. We'll look at them obviously and see. But yeah, I mean, just cruising along there. So, and Luis Rodriguez will tell you because I know every one that he looks at. I take a look at him, trust me, because he has an eye. He just knows which ones are going to continue that momentum. That's all you need on these options. You just need to pick them real quick and have them go up just a little bit. I mean, just get them moving over $1 or two, and the big caps will do it easily. And yeah, you're making good money. You're making way more than your penny stocks, and you're not really trying. You're not stressed about it. You're not like worrying about it pulling back and dipping hard or reverse splitting or doing something crazy. You're not even really worried, honestly. If you're reading your charts right and you're getting it at the right price, and that's why I'm saying I pick out these bottoms, and I'm not chasing anything. If you can get them right around that bottom, and as soon as you buy it, it's constantly going up because it's in the money. Yeah, and the closer it gets to the expiration, the more they're going up. So just something to think about for people that, again, are starting out. And I try to give you my experience. I've been doing it a while, and I know what the penny stocks are. They're very they get you sucked in, trust me. I've been in and out of them a million times. And like I said, I've done very well with them. And they're not the easiest thing. They were way easier years ago, and they would pop. They've been pretty good lately, but you're being up at 4 a.m. on the web bull. We know that. You can hit some really good poppers. There's a few of them during the daytime. But I mean, they don't compare to what's going on right now with like these Teslas and Metas and stuff. And I know that the shares are up high, but you don't have to look at it that it's that expensive because, like I just put in perspective, how you would make money on LUXH, you'd put up the same amount and make way less money. I mean, way less. You're talking five times less money putting up the same amount. And yeah, it's an easy risk doing it with Meta. I knew Friday. I was saying if what's Zuckerberg up to? When I'm saying that, you know the thing's going to be flying, and uh, and yeah, it started moving. So anyway, just a quick explanation, and again, we'll kind of scale back on some of these penny ones and not look at as many next week, and really zero in. And I'll tell you, I'll pull my scanners out because I was looking at them today, and there are. I mean. I'm just sticking to the ones I'm very confident in. Like I tell you guys that you're confident that you know are going up. I'm not trying to get crazy and trade 10 of them at all. One or two is perfect. I got the Apple ETF. Look what that did today. And I have a bunch of Meta ones. Look at that one. I mean, that's all you need to do. Trust me. I mean, I just told you what the 1 in 3 weeks expiration did. The other ones are even higher. So it was your accounts will move fast and faster than the penny stocks, I promise you, and a lot less risk. I feel like. I mean, yeah, they have expirations and you can lose out, but these penny stocks they reverse split. You're pretty much toast on that too. So or they start changing their name like they did on what MDJH, and it doesn't allow you to trade it when it runs up like 80 cents today, and then it pulls back and it's lower than what it opened at, and it's probably not going to go up because they changed their name, and that was the run up. So it's bizarre what they do, and just a little insight there. So just something to think about. And I just was looking at it because I saw that dollar was the low, and it kind of just made it really in perspective real quick when I'm looking at that dollar. I'm like, man, you have to buy 500 shares of this. That's $500, and it goes up a dollar. You make 500. You put the 500 on Meta Friday, and it's up over 2,500. I mean, it's not even a no. It's a no-brainer. And this still has to go up. You don't even know. So, but I'm just putting it in perspective that yeah, a lot of people think the cheaper ones are a lot easier, or you can buy more and they're more profitable. I honestly thought that forever, to be completely honest with you. And I'm telling you, for years, these hedge fund guys were telling me, no, you're wrong. I just didn't get it. And that's why I'm saying I'll explain it to you guys a lot better. And again, I'm just taught myself how to do this stuff in the last 2 months or so. The options, obviously, I know the market well and trading, but not options. I still don't even understand them all. I'm starting to understand it a lot better, but I still have probably a lot of learning to do. Let's put it that way. But I figured out a pretty easy system that's, like I said, I've yet to get beat on it except for two of them. And I knew what I got beat on the Apple earnings and it expired Friday. That Monday, it would have been in the money. I'll never play the earnings again. And the Yang, I let it get to the expiration. It was up. I wanted to see. It was like a $70 option. It didn't matter. It was a test for me. And then it just kind of dipped down and it just like dissolved. I was like, well, you don't wait for the expiration date. Now we know. So there you go. They were the two that I lost on, and the rest have been money. And I'm telling you, I started out with the smaller ones like Space and like other ones like that, cheaper ones that you can find, and just bought one just to see how to do it and realized, you can make some money on them, obviously, and that's where you want to learn as cheap as you can. And then once you get the hang of it, like I said, you just jump into them bigger caps, and they just move around. And honestly, if they're ran way up, you just do the put and put it down. And if it comes down like $7, $8 in a day, you just made the same amount of money, and they're really easy to see. So just a little thought and something to think about in the future. And I know I've been teasing the options and making a video, and I promise you guys, I'll definitely get it done. So I want to get you guys on board because, like I said, just look at all these penny stocks, and I love the charts and everything, but when I just look at that and put it in perspective at that dollar, and it just did the quick math in my head as I was just kind of going through the chart, looking at it like, why would anyone ever even try this? I did it forever. And now I see what everybody was telling me that had been doing this for a long time and were extremely successful. Again, hedge fund guys. And they're like, nah, dude, no one trades penny stocks like that. You got to be too good. You got to be up early. These guys, I'm telling you, they go in at 9:30 and they leave at 4. That's when options run. And you make more money doing them than you can in the penny stock. So just something to think about. And let's keep on cruising there. But yeah, it just caught my attention when I saw that dollar. I guess that dollar really just made it like jump out at me. CYN is at $5 just pulling back here, and that looks like it's going to dip a little bit more. So let it dip down some more. ASRT is a CERTIO Holdings. I remember we looked at it the other day, and it is at like 99 cents, a dollar one. It does look like it's trying to set up. I mean, nothing too crazy, but it does appear that it is trying to set up a little bit. It gets back up over that 106 area, it can move. So we'll keep an eye on it. And yeah, it might run and then try to set up bullish, but I'm not exactly sure. It's a drug manufacturer. I don't really see anything too crazy. What the heck? It says Buxton Hemsley calls for Senate hearing on well-documented evident clinical data fraud at Assertio. And that was November 15th. And that can't be any good. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that company right there. So ASRT. But like I said, it could pop up. It looks like it wants to set up the pop, but it could be kind of bearish going over time. RGF is that real good food company, and that one is pulling back down a little bit. And it was in a great spot yesterday. See if it can pop back up tomorrow and get back in its spot. It very well could. It did have a nice dip today, 27 to 23, and it's at 24. So we'll have to see what that wants to do tomorrow. So I'll have to keep an eye on that one. I'll look at that tomorrow. RGF and ASST. What is that up to? Asset entities. This one could be setting up. It looks like it's today, yesterday was its bottom down there at what, 40 cents, and it's at 42 right now. ASST. Yeah, this one looks like you might have a little runner right there, so keep an eye on that bad boy because that one's setting up ASST off the bottom. And GMM, let's see what that's up to. Global MoFi. And this one recently split and then ran right up, and now it's just kind of pulling back GMM. And I think you might get a little bit of pullback there. You have to see how that opens up tomorrow, but it looks like it wants to pull back more than go up. And that's GMM and ALZN. Let's take a look at that. Up 2 cents in the after hours. Didn't really do a whole lot. It's curling up pretty nice though. ALZN, here we go. Ran up yesterday, 135 to 145. Today, 135 to 122. It's at 124. It could try to bounce back up. I'd have to look at it tomorrow. It's hitting that line, and I'm not so sure it wants to get busting through it. I'd have to look at it in the morning just to see what it wants to look like. So that is ALZN. And let's see what is there. Is that UOKA? That's we already looked at. I wrote it twice. So let's look at HRTX. Let's see what that's up to real quick. We looked at this way back in the day, Heron Therapeutics, and that bottom's back here at like 105 area. And let's see, HRTX, it's at 220. Oh, it ran. I was gonna say it doesn't. Oh, it does show it. See, on FinViz, I look at the candle. I don't always look at the prices, and or I don't look at the aftermarket because I generally don't care because the candle will tell me. But this one still has it at 118. It does say it went up 97 cents to 215, but I wasn't looking at it, and I was just looking at it like, oh, that could try to bounce right there, but has that look, and then I go on it, and it already did 125 to 239. It's at 226, so it already started running for us. And yeah, that's you'd have to look at it in the morning and see if it wants to continue up. I just kind of hate when it does that to me because it's like, oh yeah, it looks like it wants to try to move right there, and boom, it just did it. So it The look's right, let's put it that way, but it's not showing it on FinViz, and it definitely got moving HRTX. So you can look at that one in the morning, see if it continues to move. IDAI, let's see what that's. Oh, that one was cruising back up today. It was in the top. This is at T stamp. I remember we looked at this. IDAI, and this is trying to get moving. Watch this one, could be a nice little momentum play in the morning as well. So keep an eye on IDAI and ATRA. Let's see. That one looks like it is kind of setting up right there. Just a little pullback today. Nothing real crazy though. I could see this one trying to set up. Its lines are like touching each other, so it's hard to tell. I'd have to look at it tomorrow and I'd be able to tell with that one. ATRA. And let's look at where are we at? RVPH here. RVPH, that one is, this one could bounce off of there. It's right in between that channel. This one's setting up. You can see this one setting up right here. So yeah, 120 to 125, that's where it's at. Keep an eye on this RVPH. This one's looking good for tomorrow. It could get running up there. TIRX, I know we looked at that before. TIRX, let's see what it wants to do here. That one's curling up according to this. Let's see if it already ran. TIRX. Not completely. 169 to 174. Keep an eye on that. That could get moving tomorrow as well. TIRX. We did CYN. I remember looking at it. I'm pretty sure we did it. CYN. Yeah, that was just pulling back. We just kind of did it, I think. So we'll skip there. CDIO. Let's look at that. CDIO. And that one is curling up and looking pretty good right there on that 20 right there. So CDIO, this one could be a mover tomorrow too. That looks like it's setting up, so keep an eye on that bad boy as well. And let's look at SOPA, SOPA. I know we looked at that before. What is that company? Society Pass. Couldn't think of it. And that one is just dipping around right there. SOPA. I'd have to. Yeah, I don't know if it's, I mean, it has a weird look. Let's put it that way, in between a channel with some nice dips. You could have a nice dip and rip situation on that. It's been pulling back pretty good down into like the 91s. It's at 95 right now. So SOPA, that could be a little ripper right there. It is setting up. You can see it in the channel trying to get moving. NBY, Nova Bay. Pharmaceuticals, that's hitting the bottom. I don't know if today was the bottom. We'd have to look at it tomorrow to definitely see, but it could be real close to it. Down there at 56 cents, it's at 58. So look at that tomorrow. And QMCO, let's take a look at Quantum Corp. And that could be trying to roll back up. It looked like it was trying to today. That's another one. Let me look at the after hours. Yeah, it's pulling back. It's hard to tell. I'd have to see what that sets up like tomorrow just to get a better look at QMCO. And let's just keep on cruising right through this list. I believe this is going to be Laptop Travels list. Then we'll end with another rest of the listeners, and then we'll do our big caps, crypto, and everything else. And I'll go through our messages and see what's going on. I'll hit the scanners, and we'll see what's going to be best for tomorrow. So here we go. Let's just keep on cranking these guys out right here. ANIK. Let's see. ANIK. These are laptop travels. I can usually move fast through his because they're generally pretty set up right there. AINK is just pulling back just a little bit today. That could be a little dip and rip. 17 what? 1745 down to 1686, and it's back to 1735. I'd keep an eye on that. It's sitting right on that 20. Had a nice little dip and rips look on it, so that one could be setting up right there with a dip and rip. ATER. Let's look at this guy. Just a little bit flat right there. And it is on your 20. It's not looking bad. Yeah, it's not looking bad at all. 273 to 290 at 275. You're in your channel and you're looking pretty good there. So I think you're solid with that one. ATEX. Let's see. ATEX. Let's look at that. And then, no, that looks like very similar to the last one, to be honest with you. Right in that channel, looking good, getting ready to get moving. So that one looks really healthy too. ATEX. It was running up yesterday. and it ran up to what 34.82, and today its high was 34.02. It's at 30, just under 34, but that one's getting set up. ATEX not looking bad. BWMX, Betterware de Mexico, SAPIDECV. I have no idea what the heck that is, but whatever that is, that's a BWMX is what it is, and it is at 1258. It's in the channel and it's not looking bad. I'm just trying to figure out what the heck it is. BWMX. Yeah, it's not looking bad. It's in that channel and it's going to get moving relatively soon. So keep an eye on that bad boy. CLW, Clearwater Paper Corp. Um, that one is just in that channel too, and that one's about to take off, guys. That one's setting up really good right there. You can see that happening. CLW. Yeah, that one's trying to set up just a little pullback. Watch and see if it pulls back tomorrow, but it's looking good to get set up, it looks like. ENLV. Let's see. This one looks like it's trying to pop up right now. ENLV, let's see. It is 108 to 179 at 135 right now, and still looks pretty decent. If it can keep getting up over that 136 again, it'll get moving. So keep your eye on that. ENLV and FORA. Let's see that one. Forian. This one's just pulling back in that. I mean, every one of these is perfect in that channel. FORA, and that's perfect in that channel. A little bit of pullback, and it's been running up and pulling back as it sets up. That one looks good. FRSX, Foresight Anonymous. This one is, oh, that one's curling up, guys. Keep your eye on this one. FRSX. That one looks really good to try to get moving. So I would keep an eye on that bad boy. GSIT, is that what that says? Yeah. GSIT, just in between that channel. A little bit of pullback today. Nothing real crazy. Let me see. Yeah, that one pulled back a little bit today, you can tell. But again, that one's setting up GSI Technology. KXIN. This was down a little bit. I think I even saw this today. As a matter of fact, it's in that spot where, it could get moving, KXIN, and it is just down at 186, 193. It got up to 198, and it's closed at 186, and it's just sitting right there. I mean, it's trying to get moving. Keep your eye on it. It's going to get set up right there. KXIN. I agree. LVTX with that KXIN is going to get moving. Lava Therapeutics. I remember looking at this a while ago, and this one kind of got bouncing today or yesterday or sometime. LVTX. I think it ran up a little today and yesterday. Yeah, it ran from like 193 to 201, but yesterday 164 to $2. That's where it is, and couldn't tell exactly when it ran, but crossed through a little pullback, but still looking pretty good right there. So see if it pulls back any, and then it can get moving some more. NNVC, nanoviricides. This one is right in that channel, pull back, and a lot of them did pull back today. Just had that little pullback look. Hopefully tomorrow's nice and green and things are just popping like crazy, and these things will just work their way right back up again. And then VC looks exactly like that, just kind of that pullback look. OMGA, Omega Therapeutics. This one's just kind of flat right there, but in a really good spot. MOGA. So keep an eye on that, sitting on that 20 right there, just like I said, flat, but not looking bad. That RGTI, this one did run up. It was back up 12 cents and it's still in the top right here. We'll see if it can get curled back up tomorrow. Possibly could, and maybe run up a little higher. But again, be careful with that bad boy RGTI. You know what I think about them once they're in the top. So just keep your eye on that and make sure it's running up in the top if you're going to get in it, and it's a quick momentum play. SLGL, that's Sogel Technologies. And this one's in that channel right there. Watch for it to get up over like that 55 cents. It's right there. And it can really get curled up here. So SLGL. Oh my goodness. SLGL. There we go. Yeah, it's in that channel. And it looks like it's trying to get set up right there. SNCR maybe I have written there. I can't even tell. SNCR. There we go. And that one is moving up today in that channel and looking good. I would say this one looks decent. SNCR, it did 1016 to 1071. It's back to 1012. We'll have to keep an eye on it because it did run up today and it looks good. I think it's just setting up to run a little bit more. So that's SNCR. And let's take a look at SOGP, Sound Group Inc. This one's right in that channel too, getting set up. So just keep an eye on that. And we'll keep an eye on all these bad boys. They're just in them channels getting ready. TACT. Oh, this one's going to be a decent one. This one had a nice dip and rip look. Keep an eye on this one. TACT on this could be intact for tomorrow if it tries to get curled up there. 418 up to 425 came down to 396 and it's back to 415. So or 418 it opened and it's closed at 415. So yeah, TACT, that one could be setting up. I remember this one, UONEK. I think it might be a no, Urban One. That's it. I thought maybe it was a OTC, but it's not. Um, this one was trying to run up yesterday and today, just a little healthy pullback there. Nothing too crazy right there on UONEK, Urban One. And yeah, this one could just get popping back up tomorrow. Like I said, it doesn't look bad at all. And ZDGE, Zedge. This one looks good. I would watch this tomorrow. This one could be popping. At least it looks like it on here. Let me confirm. Yeah, that looks like it'll be a momentum runner. ZDGE and ZJK. That one ran already today. 1014 to $49 and it's back to 15. So not so sure you want to mess with that yet, but Z or at the moment, and that is ZJK and ZJK Industrials went nutty today. So 28 million in volume and I'd be careful with that. And there you go. I think that was all laptop travels and all a bunch of great setups right there. So, all right in between that 20 and 50, curling up and looking good. Let's continue on our way through here and see what else we have. SPWH, I'll just fly through, see what these are up to, and we'll get to our other ones. SPWH, that's Sportsman's Warehouse. I think we might have looked at it yesterday. They have earnings coming up on the 10th, which is next Tuesday. So a week from today is their earnings. Has that weird look today. Like you can't tell. It may be pulling back a little bit. SPWH. And on mine, it looks much better. So let me take that back because it looks way better in the after hours on my chart. So definitely keep an eye on this. If it gets over that 227, what it do? 221 to 224, down to 210. It's at 222. Where does this have it? 222. And yeah, I'm telling you, my chart's just way better. And I'm telling you, if it gets over that 227 area, 227, 228, it can get popping up to the into the 250s. So keep an eye on that bad boy, SPWH. It does look decent on my chart right there. FAZ, this is a ETF. It is the daily financial bear three times. So let's see what's up with this FAZ Faz. And let's see. It is it's moving up. It went up 13 cents. It is I gotta look at this thing. It bottomed out down there. It's curling up. It's gonna hit some resistance in here in the 580s. It's at 566. I don't know. I don't know if it's going up that much here. So let me see. Into the 580. It may stop at that 580. What's the opposite of this thing? FAZ. I have no idea. But it's got to be like the financial bull three times shares. But yeah, I don't know if this thing's really popping. I think it's just coming up off that top, off that bottom right now. We'll keep a look at it, but it's not exactly that bullish, I'll say. FAZ. And I'm not sure we ever looked at that before. Maybe we have. I don't remember. And let's look at RAPT and look at that RAPT Therapeutics. And this one's curling up and looking really good, guys. So keep an eye on this bad boy, RAPT. And I think you're going to have a little runner right there with that one. So keep an eye on that. And that PSQH, that one did run today. I know that. I forget what the heck they have going on. If it's something involved with Trump or something, I think. Yeah, Public Square announces Donald Trump Jr. and Willie Langston appointed to the board of directors on this one as well. So this one ran up quite a bit, over 200% right into the top. And again, could it have a momentum? It could. You got to keep an eye. It'll probably get shorted down tomorrow. You know that. But yeah, that one ran up big today. Off of that news, and ANNX, that one's dipping down. Let it pull back, and it could be a really good one to keep an eye on. Could even be a little dip and rip situation. That low could be that 483. It's back at what, $5? So keep an eye on that. Annexon, that's a biotech company right there. And EXK, I think, yeah, EXK. This is a silver Endeavor Silver Corp, and this one looks good. EVK. Hold on. That's not what it is. It's EXK. I'm sorry, EXK. And this one looks really good. So keep your eye on this. It's getting bullish. It wants to run into the 470s and then really get moving. So just keep an eye on that. It is setting up right there. It looks good. APLT. Let's see what that's up to. APLT. Let's see. That one was dipping today. Oh no, that took that. That's right. That took that big dip. I didn't even see it down here. That one we did look at yesterday. It's just in the basement running flat there. APLT. So yeah, let me see. Yup. That one is just running flat. We'll look at that to see when it wants to curl up. That'll have a good run when it wants to. Be ready to move. CYTO. This one is getting moving a little. It was up 5 cents and looking pretty decent. It did run up though. I'm not sure it wants to continue. Let me see. I mean, it could. It doesn't look bad right there, honestly. It stays over that 54. It's at 53. It will run. That could keep its momentum right there. CYTO. Uh, yeah, CYTO not looking bad right there. And APLM, Apollo Mics, this one is setting up. It recently split. It ran up yesterday, and it is not looking bad, to be honest with you. Maybe it'll run up a little more tomorrow. APLM. Eh, it's hitting that line. It's right there. I might have to look at that one tomorrow just to see what that's up to. It's hitting the line right there, and it looks like it wants to bounce up. It could go in any which way. It is setting up over time. That's why it could definitely go any which way. But you could see it could pull back and set up. It could go up, pull back to set up. It could go any which way the way it's sitting. It's like that's a coin flip right there. APLM. I definitely wouldn't mess with that right there. QNRX. This one was moving a little bit. That coin therapeutics or something. I saw this today and it was cruising up there, QNRX, and it ran up higher yesterday. I didn't even realize it ran up to 138, and then today 66 to 96. So there you go with that bad boy. That one is running up there. Has some nice spike ups too, doesn't it? So it does look like it wants to get up to the top, and we'll see how far that really wants to run. QNRX, HYMC. Highcroft Mining Holding. This one is getting set up, guys. I don't know if it's ready to blast off tomorrow, but it could be. Keep an eye on this. It looks good on mine. I think you're going to have a little runner on that one. And VERU, let's see that. VERU. And this one is getting set up too. That one looks really good. Let me see. Yeah, I would say you got a little little runner right there. And JAGX, the Jaguar, we did the cheetah and the lion. Let's look at JAGX too. We might as well, right? And see what the Jaguar wants to do. And that bad boy is trying to get set up. It's just not doing it. It's down at $1. And it doesn't look like anything crazy to me at the moment. So GOVX. down 18 cents. This one could get popping off of this bottom right here. Look to see if it dips anymore. GOVX, but that could be a nice little runner right there. And yeah, that could be a little dip and rip situation on GOVX. MGRM, Monogram Technologies. This one is cruising up there today. MGRM. Yeah, this one could be a momentum play in the morning, guys. Keep an eye on that bad boy. You could have a momentum there. HSCS, Heart Sciences. We were looking at this. It ran up yesterday. Didn't do too bad today. HSCS. It went 386 and then came back down. So it did open up yesterday. It closed at 362. It did run up a little higher though yesterday. It ran up to 390 and then it gapped up to 386, but came back down. It's at 331. I'm not so sure it wants to run up anymore. I have to look at that tomorrow. It could. Um, has that look. If it can get over that 50 right there, it could continue to move over that 340. So have to look at that. NDRA, let's see what NDRA and Endura Life Sciences is up to. That one's just pulling back. So that one just recently ran up. It's just pulling back. HSDT. Helios Medical. This one's trying to get cruising. It's been moving the last 2 days. I know we were looking at this recently, and it is moving up. It could keep its momentum tomorrow. Watch for that if it wants to have a little momentum. LUCY, Lucy, that one's setting up pretty good. So keep your eye on her. She's going to be hot. LUCY, hold on. LUCY. Yeah, Lucy looks like she's setting up to get kind of hot there, so keep an eye on that. I'll keep an eye just to see if it wants to bounce off tomorrow and come down or get set up. It's like right there where it's trying to get set up, so I'll let you guys know tomorrow. And there you go. Let me go through the crypto and big caps and check out the messages and then I'll be toast because that was a big list. And like I said, we're definitely going to scale it back and just hit some poppers and not go that crazy with that many. There's no need to go through that many stock tickers and half of them are just dipping or not doing anything. So it's kind of just a lot of talking and not really needing to do it. So we'll definitely scale them back and get way better. So there you go with that. And here we go. Let's look at crypto real quick and see what that's up to. Let's see. Let me jump on my app real quick and see. It's easier. Bitcoin is down a little bit. It's at 95,882. It's not looking too bad. Let me see. Nah, it's not even looking bad. It's trying. Honestly, I don't know if they're really going to pull back that hard. It is trying to get moving back up there, so it's not looking bad at all. Ripple's at what, 255 right now. It did pull back some from that 280 something. It was up there the other day. And again, this one could just be pulling back to just get flying again. So they could be easily turned up tomorrow morning. Doge is at 41. And again, another one just sitting right there, making some good room on the chart. Looks like it wants to pull back hard, but they're just not doing it. And they're making some room on that chart so that they can get popping. Solana's back to 238, and this one's trying to get cruising. It did bounce off again. Our numbers are the SMAs are the 10 and the 30. This one hit the 30, bounced off it. So I don't think they really want to do a hard dip. I think they're just making room, basing out, and getting cruising again. So we'll be keeping an eye. Sheeb is up, and I'm telling you, Sheeb was getting set up, and I think it's going to get running right now. So I think you're about to see Sheeb take a nice little cruise. So keep an eye on that bad boy. And let's just see what WIF is up to. That's at 331. That's up a little bit right now, up 16 cents. And that was looking good yesterday, I remember. And yeah, that one's about to try to curl through and get moving. Laptop Travels, Wife's Pet Rock is looking good right there. Let's see what Bonk is doing right here. That is down a little bit. And again, that had a huge run. And that one's hitting your what? Your what is it? Your 30 right there, just like Solana was. And we should see it start to try to crawl back up, I would think, right there. And I know I got a couple other ones that someone asked me to look at. I'll look at them on my chart. because it'll probably be easier. I'm not that familiar with all these guys that much. The XYO, that one I know has been cruising up. XYO USD, Coinbase here. And yeah, I'd be very careful. I mean, the thing ran from literally like it was like under a penny and it just ran over 4 cents. So you could have been a millionaire on that bad boy right there. So that's XYO. I just be careful. It could be pulling back. You have to keep an eye on it to just see. It just ran up like a maniac right there. So just see if it's pulling back. I'll keep an eye on it. TVKUSD. We have that one on Coinbase. That one is stair stepping up and looking pretty decent. Looks like it wants to continue up past that 16.5 cents. So it's been stair stepping up and looking decent right there. And that's TVK. And let's look at VOXEL. Oh, let me spell it right. VOXEL USD. And that is on Coinbase. Voxel. I'm not familiar with this one either, but it is cruising up there. Could be getting topped out right there, to be honest with you. So just be careful. That one's way up there. You don't want to get caught chasing it and having it pull back on you. And that's VOXEL for crypto. And boom, there you go with all them guys. I don't think I looked at Ethereum, did I? ETH, USD. We'll look at it real quick. Um, and that looks like it's about to roll off the MACD and get cruising even higher. So Ethereum is looking good right there, and that's what we wanted to see. I wanted to look at it on purpose because I knew it was like hitting a line. Wanted to see if it was bumping back up. So yeah, they're not looking bad at all. What's going on over in like South Korea or Asia? I don't even know what's going on over there. But it says Asian stocks fall as political chaos rattles Korea. I did see something like there was some crazy South Korean political unrest. So I saw that earlier and it's talking about it right here. South Korea martial law showdown. So yeah, there's some what's going on over there. I have no idea. We'll have to check that out. But like I said, I just saw some news earlier. I didn't even look into it. I kind of forgot. Now I just saw it on the FinViz, the news stories. They're all about that. So I'd say that's kind of important, huh? We'll have to keep our eye on that and see what's going on if anyone knows. Let me go through our big caps and then I'll end going through our messages and see what you guys want to see. So let's just blast right through and we'll get it wrapped up here. Here we go. Let's look at our normal GameStop. And actually, I'll start with the GameStop and then we'll hit the SPY real quick. But GameStop actually looks like it's stopping on the 20. They do have earnings coming up next Tuesday, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But it does look like it's trying to base out down here and now try to get moving again. So we'll see if GameStop's trying to crawl back up and get moving. I'll check out AMC. That was down like 18 cents today. Yesterday does kind of look like it was hitting its high at like 505, 504 area. But it went a little higher than that, I think, yesterday as well. 519. So yeah, we'll have to see if it can curl back up tomorrow. I'm not so sure. It might be pulling back at the moment. It is bullish over time, but it did run up and yesterday it didn't. Like I said, it might be at its top for just a moment while it gets set up. And that's AMC and Chewy, CHWI. This was down a little bit, but another one just looking good. Their earnings are on this week, tomorrow. They have earnings on, no, the 4th. Yeah, tomorrow, right? Did I just see that? Yeah, well, the 4th. Okay, yeah, their earnings are tomorrow for Chewy. It looks like it's flat. It looks like it wants to go up and it looks like it wants to go down. I mean, every single time for earnings, I have no idea. So we'll just take a look at it, obviously, after tomorrow and we'll see what it wants to do. And now let's look at the SPY because it was up barely today, 28 cents, but it is setting up to get really, really bullish right there and try to pop off. and try to get up into the top and really run. So keep an eye on that because it does look pretty bullish. And let's look at Nvidia. That was up $1.63, and I'm telling you, this thing's getting curled up now, and it's going to get cruising, guys. That bottom was the other day at 131. I'm not sure we're going to see that bottom again. It got down to 137 today. It's at 140. So Nvidia's looking good to try to run. Apple is running today. I mean, it's hitting some resistance, and it got into the top. It very well could just get right through it tomorrow and keep on cruising. So that isn't looking bad at all. Apple's still looking good. Google, that was up just bouncing around today. Again, setting up really, really nice right there. So Google's getting set up to get moving. Look for any dips on that one. And Amazon, let's look, AMZN. It was up 273. I told you this one was going to get cruising, guys. Watch, it has that resistance at 216. It should get through. It might hit it and pull back a little bit just to set up to go up a little more to keep going. So that is AMZN at Amazon. How about that Meta right there, up over $20 today, and another $2 in the after hours. It's at like $615. It is hitting that top, so we'll have to see what it wants to do in the morning. But it does have some crazy momentum right there, and it is running up. So we'll see if it wants to continue. Who did say it was going to get right to that 600 and then go right to 620? So I believe I said that about a day or two ago, and it did it. It didn't get to 620 yet, but it's getting close. So there you go, right there. If it gets up over that basically that's 6:15 where it's at in the after hours tomorrow. If it opens up pretty high tomorrow, you're gonna get over that 620 with no problem. So there you go at Meta, and again, just smash that bad boy. It was looking perfect, and bam, that was a beauty right there. So that was META, and Microsoft is setting up. It's up 22 cents. And again, it ran up yesterday. Just be careful. It could get some pullback as it's setting up. I'd rather get it down in the 420 area and then and let it pop off. So it did run up pretty fast yesterday, faster than I thought yesterday. So there you go with that. And Tesla, that was down 567. Just let it pull back a little bit as it's setting up, and then you're gonna have Tesla like blasting off again, and we'll hit that one and the TSLL and all that good stuff. So let's look at Nike, down 23 cents. It's in that channel. We know it. It's gonna stay in this little channel, and then it'll get up over that $80 and pop, and it's just got to set up there for Nike. And Rivian is setting up. That one is up a penny. I'm telling you, this one's going to set up and run. Just watch and see if it can dip any more down into the lower 11s. But it recently has, obviously, and it's getting set up again. PLTR up another $4. I'm telling you, this thing is just a beast. I don't know what is going on, but it just keeps going up. So obviously a momentum play on it, and it's been crazy. Just like Sophie, that was down a little bit. We'll see if it wants to actually pull back and cross through coming down. I'm not so sure. So they just been wild. Dell is pulling back a little bit. It was running up. We knew it ran up, but it hit that resistance right there. And like I said, it's just in a channel trying to set up. We'll watch for it because it'll be a really good setup probably in a week or so. Oh, maybe 2 weeks. That snow is way up there and it keeps running up higher. It's in the top and it keeps running up. We were way early on that bad boy and that was a beauty. But I think that might be coming down fairly soon just to set back up because it's way up there. AMD did pull back a little bit today. I mean, it was up and then it pulled back. It's at 142 in the after hours, so we were looking at that the other day. What did it do? 142 to 144 today. It's at 142 and not looking bad. We knew that was going up. AMD, QCOM, that one is setting up. Just let it set up and it'll start to run. It started to run yesterday, ran up some more today. And yeah, it's just getting set up some more. It may pull back now after them two quick run ups, and it will get cruising again. Qualcomm. Let's see PayPal here. PYPL. That's down. Actually, I'm surprised that came down. Let it come down now. Let it come into the 83s. Nothing crazy, and that's setting up to be bullish, making good room right there. SMCI, that pulled back today, and it actually ran up in the beginning of the day and then pulled back. SMCI 44.92 to 46.17, and then it came down into the 38s and it closed at 39.41. It could be pulling back here just for a hair, and then it's going to get set up to get moving again. And that's SMCI. And let's look at Intel. This one's setting up. I'm telling you, it's a great pullback right there. Pays to be very patient. Let it pull back a little bit more, and it's going to be perfect. Didn't like the CEO retire. Yeah, the CEO's leaving. He's leaving the company with a few million, I think. And so I'm not sure what's going on there, but yeah, that Pat Gelsinger or something. It was all the rage today talking about him and him leaving Intel. And like I said, I think they're setting up to get super bullish. So just watch it. I'm gonna jump on that one when it bottoms out because that'll be a decent one to run up real quick. And that is INTC. Disney was down a little bit. It's still at 116. It's still in the top. That one might have to pull back, but that was another great one. 95 to 117 or plus right there for a great option. Oxy, I'm telling you, this one is getting set up right now. Keep your eye on it. OXY, and it is getting set up. I think you're going to have a good one right there for Oxy. So keep your eye on that. ExxonMobil was getting set up. It's down right there. And again, another one just setting up right off of that bottom right there. It's on that hard line, looking good. So that'll get set up for us. Mara down a little bit, but just pulling back and just getting ready to curl back up. So that one's just setting up, and Riot's doing the exact same thing. It's getting set back up. They might pull back a little bit more, but nothing too crazy. MSTR, this one was down some. It was bouncing around. I know that. MSTR, what did it get to today? 382 to 393 and down to 356 and at 377. So I think that 356 could be its bottom right there as it hit that resistance. And we could see it try to base out up here. We'll keep an eye on MicroStrategy. Excuse me. And here we go. CLSK. Down 57 cents and just pulling back a little bit, it looks like. Let me see. Yeah, it's gonna get set up, just pulling back a hair right there. Let me see. Coin, COIN. This one's running back up, so this one should be pretty decent. It's getting set back up and getting moving. Yeah, I'd say coins looking pretty decent again. Keep your eye on that. DJT was up. I'm telling you, this thing's going to get cruising, guys. So keep your eye on that. And Fun, PHUN, is going to get cruising real soon. So keep your eye on that bad boy as well. And MTN, the mountain, that was up like $4. And it's going to be bouncing up. It's looking good. They have earnings coming up on next Monday. So let that bounce around, then we'll play it after earnings. MCD, this was up $2. McDonald's trying to get set up there. Um, yeah, again, it's going to get running. It's just taking its time. So you can keep an eye on that. And Boeing down a little bit. And I don't know, like I said, that company kind of topped out yesterday at that 160. And like, that one's just bearish too. So I'd watch for that to try to pull back. Good old Boeing and Space SPCE. This was down 33 cents. It was trying to move yesterday, came back down, crossed down. We'll have to see. It's right in between that channel. We'll see if it tries to bounce back up tomorrow and get moving again. Maybe not. It might be pulling back there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that SPCE Space. And TSM, let me see what that's doing. A Taiwan semiconductor. Again, this was an easy one the other day. These are the ones that I'm going to be playing, and they're a piece of cake. It went up with no problem. Opened at 193, got up to 199. It's at 199.23 and going to continue its way up. And that's a piece of cake. That's what I'm looking for. So yeah, they're the ones that we're going to be looking at. We don't have to go through 10 million anymore. Honestly, by the time I get to this end, I don't even know what's what's going on. So I'd rather be more focused on things that are going to be moving, that are going to be way more profitable than worried about a bunch of ones that are just running around that, are just running around. They don't really matter. So we're going to really get focused on the good stuff and not worry about the other stuff. So there we go with that. DXYZ is popped up today some more. I'm telling you, just wait for it. It's got to come back down into this 35 area. It just keeps creeping up though, and just wants to get cruising, but it will pull back. The minute you pull the trigger up here, it'll pull back on you. So just be careful with that one. And I think that's everything right there. And let me go through our messages real quick, see what we have going on, and let me take a quick look here. XTIA, you did miss that one. I'll tell you what I said. I think it was still setting up. It was just flat. That's right. It was just flat today, but not looking bad. So, we'll have to take a look at that bad boy tomorrow. It doesn't look bad though. Just has to get right up over that. It's at 5 cents. It needs to get up over like five into the high fives, possibly six. It did it today. It got up over that resistance and or yesterday, I mean, and it still doesn't look bad. Just a little healthy pullback with that one, and that was XTIA. Let me see. Let's show something. How are you? DEFTF. What's that? DEFTF. I don't even see that one. Hold on. DEF. TF. I don't see that at all. What is that? Let me look on mine. DEF. TF. Oh, hold on. DeFi Technologies. It did come up on mine. Um, it might be an OTCer, I guess. I don't even know. What is it at? 291. It does look like it's not doing too bad there, but it's probably at the top. I'd be very careful with that one. Let's show something because it's hard to see. I can't pull it up on both charts, and I'm just seeing it's up there. So yeah, it's a tough one. I wouldn't mess with it just because it's up there with that. So there you go with that one. Scott said he was able to sell what he had on Moo in the morning, and this is on that one for that MDJH, which became what UOKA. So Scott was in it, and but he sold on that one. It would have helped if this morning, unless everything was there. Boom, boom. Oh, he had them split between Web Bull and I guess the Web Bull he couldn't sell it on, so he has two different platforms, and only one platform was allowing him to sell it. I'm telling you, it happens often. I know certain platforms are stricter than others, and I'm not sure why on reverse splits and things of that nature. And again, you got to worry about them with the penny stocks and not so much when you're doing the big cat. Apple's not changing their name tomorrow. I can tell you that right now. And you don't even got to worry about it. So just something to think about. BTC, let's see what that's up to. That's that Grayscale Bitcoin mini trust. And this is just it's holding itself up, but it has that pullback look. So got to be careful with it. We'll see when it wants to get curled back up because it could pull back and you don't want to get caught in it. Like I said, it was in the top, came out of the top. You got to make sure it wants to go back up there. Um, we did the NNVC and XTIA. We did both of them. What was NNVC? I don't even remember what that looked like. Nano Vera sides. That one was just kind of flat right there. That one's hard to tell, honestly. NNVC. Let's see. Yeah, it ran up today. I'm not so sure it's going to keep going there. That one could be pulling back there. GIFT, let's look at that one real quick. That gift. That was looking good last night. I didn't even look at it today. Up 8 cents. I told you that was going to be a gift from Laptop Travel, and it was. It moved today, that's for sure. 175 to 191. There you go, guys. That's a nice gift for you. Came down to 155 and it closed at 165. Again, these things that are in the dollar range, $2 range, under a penny or under a dollar in the pennies, they move so fast. I mean, you don't have to worry about that as much with the bigger caps. Like Meta's just moving along. It's not really, you hit your resistance and then you'll worry that it dips down. But I mean, this thing's in a day goes from, just crazy amounts of movement here. And yeah, I mean, where did he get? 160. Yeah, let me look on mine because it's 175 to 191, back down to 155, and it closed at 165. I mean, that's a crazy day for that thing, but it did move. We did say it was going to move. It did it. But you got to be trading them perfect, I'm telling you. PMCB, this one looks like it's just pulling back. It's got a setup right here, so. PMCB. Yeah, that one looks like it's pulling back, unless it does like one of them craziest bounces right there. And there you go with that. Um, Somebody was looking up Moo and all that good stuff. So that's that. JFBR, all those spikes pre-market and after hours look nuts. I'm telling you. Uh, New Guy L, they are nuts right there. I'm not gonna lie. That's a lot of great trading right there. JFBR. I mean, if you're gonna do like penny stocks or anything small, check out something like this that just runs around like crazy every single day. Find its bottom when it hits down here in the supports, and then run it up to its resistance. Set your sells and buys and do it easy. Instead of trying to get crazy with some of these and trade a bunch of them that are all wild. And yeah, Dwight liked the Diddy thing. Lumen, let's look at that. We haven't looked at that. Like I said, they have great flashlights. Remember, we ran that way up there, and now it's running way down. So we'll keep an eye on Lumen and LUMN because that'll be a good one when it wants to bounce back up. It's almost down at the bottom. So perfect right there. That GWAV, we looked at that one. And again, that one is in the top right there. It could have momentum tomorrow. It's hard to tell with that. Luis Rodriguez wants to see Salesforce CRM. And actually, this one I think might have been trending on StockTwits if I remember correctly. I might be wrong, but I think it ran up in the after hours. 331 to 367. It's at 366, and it is looking pretty decent right there. Yeah, this one only has it at like 362 on FinViz. And but yeah, CrowdStrike Salesforce CRM is not looking too bad. It ran up. The TSM is looking good. We checked that one out already. That one looks good to continue up. We were talking about it this week. And what's Marvel up to? Marvell Technology. Never mind. That's a semiconductor. MRVL, and that one is just it's setting up right there. I'm not so sure it wants to pop up tomorrow. Let me see. Oh, wait a sec. It's like looking at two different charts here. Kidding me? 98 to 107. What the hell does this thing say? 95 to 105. Yeah, that one could keep its momentum there. Luis Rodriguez in the morning. And again, Finviz gives you a hard look. Good thing I have the Trend Spider because I would have no idea with half of these, to be honest with you. So yeah, they look decent. Um, the Pink Wolf loves the Jolie's jumpers. There you go. And getting in on them before. I honestly, most of them we see them ahead of time. To be honest with you, and that's what I want to do. Just kind of focus on the ones that are really going to be moving. I'll go through the list. I'll take a few of them that you guys want to see, or maybe I'll just ask like as we're going through the show. Post up a few of them. We'll do our laptop travels list, and because they're always nice and solid. He has his scanner set up perfect, and knows what to look for. Not that everybody doesn't, but we just don't need 150 of them. We can just kind of see what we need to see and then bust through it. So I think we'll start attacking it like that, to be honest with you, and that way you guys can have fun with the Joe Lee's jumpers ahead of time. Because like I said, we see just about all of them, and you guys can tell when they're getting set up. We can tell when they're right there. We look at a lot of them as they're setting up for days and days, and we can kind of just let them go and really attack the ones on the scanners, the ones that are really set up, and again the really good option ones because they're the most profitable calls. That's what I was saying before. We were going to get into like the most profitable best ones for that moment. And that's what I've been looking to do and been doing, honestly, with like things like meta and things of that nature. Just been smashing them. And yeah, you won't look at a penny stock ever again. I promise you that. You'll be like, I'm just wasting my time and wasting effort. So again, they're great to look at for the chart skills to keep you up on your skills. Because if you can keep up on penny stocks, clearly you can do the big caps like it's like paint drying, and that's why it's so amazing. Because now you're talking about again making like even higher percentages and profits, and even more profits than penny stocks, and running them up, and they're way easier. I mean, it's a piece of cake. So that's what I'm really going to get focused on for the show and get us moving in that direction rather than really look at like 100 and some stocks, and most of them are just whatever. You don't even look at them the next day, or you do, and they're just jumping around. But you hit the you hit a meta, like I just told you, the meta one, the option, the expiration for 3 weeks out from Friday. So whatever the heck, what was Friday's date? I don't even remember. Let me look. Friday was the 29th. So the expiration's probably the 13th or the 20th. I have to look. And that one right there alone was over $1,900 today alone, just that one. So, and it was about a $500 option. Maybe it was a couple more dollars. I don't think it was more than six. It wasn't 600. I'm positive it wasn't. And yeah, thing just, and I have a few of them. I'm telling you, it's crazy. You're not making money on penny stocks like this. I promise you, you're not. So yeah, that's gonna definitely be what we have to do. And again, it's all about trading smart. And we can pick all the penny stocks. And I used to say it every day. You can pick all the 100 percenters you want. I've done it for years. But if you can't trade them smart, they're all useless. And I realize that. Again, I've traded them really smart for a while there, did really, really well. And then the markets change. You have to pivot with the markets. And yeah, there's a lot of great opportunities, but a lot of them are at 4 a.m. on the web bull. You really got to be catching these momentum plays. Whereas we can just see exactly what's set up and what's going to be moving. It's really easy to see. You get them at the right time at the perfect price, and you run them up. You're in the money, and the percentages just keep running up higher and higher as the expiration date gets closer. So each day it's going up. It's going up exponentially. Like it's crazy. So yeah, like Meta, if it's up tomorrow even more, it'll be up way more. So it's not even close to what a penny stock will do. So that's what we're gonna really get focused on there. And so yeah, I think that's the way to do it. DXCM, what's that one right there? Didn't we? Dexcom, there you go. Oh yeah, that one does, and that one looks great. Honestly, Luis Rodriguez, that one's great. I think that's going to continue to climb, like you're saying, and be a really good option. And there you go. There's just another opportunity right there. It's at 80.91, and you could easily see 85. I guarantee at 80.91, you could go in there and get get an option at like $81, and it'll be there in like immediately, and then it'll just keep running up. So when it gets to about 82, you'll be in the money, and then once it just moves up to 85, the thing's worth way more than if you bought stock. So it's absolutely crazy. So there you go with that. And someone got screwed on the Web Bull too, also with the name change. So yeah, because that thing ran up way high today and then came way down. So that'll definitely screw you. PLUG to let's see, what did it do? I thought we looked at Power Plug down 28 cents. That wasn't too bad. Um, it was up yesterday. You could kind of tell yesterday it could have kept momentum or it could have pulled back. It had that weird look. And yeah, it's gonna pull back right here to that 193 and be perfect to bounce off. So that one's gonna be a good one right there. And I would say that's gonna be a nice setup for that. And boom, here we go. And yeah, time come to teach us. I don't want Christmas presents, just teach us options and screeners. There you go. I agree. Um, no, I'm telling you, I just basically put myself through my own little course, figured out what worked, what didn't, and yeah, kind of just started really going to it. And like I said, Meta was like the first one that I was like, I'll just go. This is where we're gonna start. I'm like, holy shit. What a start. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. It's a wild start right there. So, and the Tesla ones last week, the TSLL and the MicroStrategy one, they were insane. These things are running up like $40 in a day, and you have an option. Holy shit. I'm telling you, it's astronomical. You just don't even understand. And again, I gave you an idea of the numbers, but it's just crazy. So we'll definitely have to focus way more on that and really just pay attention to them ones. GCT, that one could roll off of there and get cruising Giga Cloud. Not looking bad right there. Luis Rodriguez. It's coming down pretty hard on that MACD, but it almost looks like it does want to curl off of there. It did run up, pull back, and now it looks like it kind of wants to stair step up. So, and there you go. So that was that. And I think we got everything. I'm just looking through the messages. I hope I got everybody. And boom, there you go with that. Let me just see. Let me just look on StockTwit, see if I missed anything crazy over here. There's a lot of coins that are trending. Meta's trending. Lunar's down. And again, they were at the top. Intel is down, but I'm telling you, Intel is going to be a great one to get set up right there. And yeah, that's it right there, I would say. So that would be a good little market review right there, I would say. And we'll hit this scanner tomorrow morning. I already looked at it. Wasn't a whole lot going on. So we'll take a look at it in the morning and see what's happening. And yeah, we'll be back at 7 a.m. for pre-market. And like I said, we'll get really focused. And I said we were going to try to do it after Thanksgiving. And clearly, COVID had me a little tired and down a little bit, not down negatively, just, with a brain injury. I'm telling you, my brain's just been foggy. So I just kind of have to take my time, get back. I'm feeling better so I can get back into the swing of things and start cranking stuff out. I just have to listen to my body now. Again, I'm so used to just going hardcore all the time, but with a brain injury, you got to kind of not do that stuff or yeah, you can't really work all the time hardcore like that. So I gotta just kind of chill sometimes. But yeah, I'm good to go, and we'll get back cruising. So, like I said, we'll get really focused on what's popping. And I know people like Luis Rodriguez and Laptop Travel, the guys that are already playing options, they know exactly what I'm talking about. And yeah, it's so much worth it. So I'll definitely put that video together. I'll even try to put it together tomorrow and get that all rocking and rolling for you guys so we can go through that. Start really nailing them because I'm telling you, it's it's a whole different world. Like I said, I was a big penny stock person for many years, and like I tell you, I traded off and on. I was able to hit a bunch and then take some time off and then hit some more and take some time. I always say I'm blessed with a skill. I could always see these stock charts, and clearly we see them really well, especially with the trend spider now. I think I'm seeing them even better than ever. Like I said, I feel like I'm inside the chart. So take advantage of it, and let's just use the most profitable ones that you can use for that day and just take advantage of them. So that's what I'm looking at. And yeah, I think it's a great idea. So we'll nail them down. We'll get everybody on board, and people can still play the penny stocks and the penny ones and whatever else. But again, do them as more of a training exercise to get really good at trading smart and reading charts and then apply that to these options. And I guess I did that for 20 plus years, and now I'm applying it to options. I wish I would have switched over about a decade ago, to be honest with you, now that I really see what everybody's been talking about and telling me for about the last 3 to 4 years, and I never even switched over. And again, I tried to figure it out. It was just confusing. So I understand where you guys are, the people that are like, I don't have a clue where to even start. I totally get it. I was intimidated eliminated. And again, I took a course and finished it 2 weeks before I got hit in the head, so I didn't really remember much. But my buddy Josh definitely helped me out, told me I had questions, he would answer them. And I said, let me just kind of jump into this and figure it out here. I'll start small and it's all good. And like I said, I kind of figured out a method. I'm not sure if it's very it might be unique. I don't think a lot of people really do it, but I'm maximizing some profits like a maniac over here, hitting 150% plusers in 2 days, almost every single option I buy. And that's pretty, I don't know anybody that does anything like that, to be honest with you. So it's a lot of fun, and I can tell I could do it all the time, no matter what the market conditions are, because you can go down, up, side, doesn't even matter. So I'll definitely show you guys. And again, I was just exploring, experimenting, and I'm looking at December really to just kind of really just tighten it up and really make sure I'm on the right track. And then honestly, 2025 is just going to be a wild year between crypto and options. I feel like each day should almost be a $10,000 day. Obviously, they won't, but you could easily have 10K trades with these options, like hitting a meta like that with no problem, hitting them micro strategies last week and Teslas and stuff. But they're going up $20 and you have two or three options, you're making some serious dough right there. So just keep it in mind, something to think about tonight. And again, I'll try to put that video together tomorrow. Obviously, we'll be on at 7 a.m. for pre-market and our Jolie's jumpers, our laptop lowdowns, and anything else you guys want to see in crypto. We'll see if that's bouncing back up. So have a great night, everybody. I appreciate everybody hanging out. Laptop Travid, The Rabbit Vole, Luis Rodriguez, Low Country Profits, Jennifer Lee, Winter Mute, Dodge, Mama Nine, Sherry Bongpree Chan, and Serial Winner, Game Changer, DTM, Jay Kratz, Linda, Michael, Bruce Love, how are you? Scott, June W, Patrick, Jillian, Alicia, Tony. I think there's other people. It sometimes doesn't let me see everybody. I don't know why, but everybody, greatly appreciate you all hanging out. Have a great night. I'll see you guys in the morning and let me know if you want to see anything. So there you go. And just think about what I was saying with the options and penny stocks. And again, I'll put the video together. Any questions about anything, feel free to DM me. You guys know I answer everybody. And have a great night, everybody. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good night.